Hello, welcome back, guys, to the class of Java from Sketch. In this course, we are covering the syllabus of BCA third year also, and as well as the Java syllabus of Java. So, in the last class, we learned about the operators, keywords, and many more things. Or one topic, bitwise operator, was left. So, let's continue with that topic. Okay, so let's continue with that topic. So, what is bitwise operator? To understand this, I have already told you about the and or operators. What is and or operator? So now let's move to the bitwise operator. Just wait. Yes. Okay. So there are two, bitwise or and bitwise and operator. Now what is this? What happens, like if I say the logical or operator doesn't check second condition. Okay. If the first condition is true, I was said that लॉजिकल और ऑपरेटर में होता क्या है एक्चुअली में जब कोई भी कंडीशन ट्रू होती है ओके और जब यूज करता हूँ जब मेरे को दो कंडीशंस के बीच में चेक करवाना है वेदर दीज बोथ कंडीशंस आर ट्रू और वेदर वन ऑफ दीज कंडीशंस आर ट्रू ओके सो और मैं जब यूज करता हूँ जब मेरे को दोनों में से एक भी कंडीशन अगर ट्रू हो तो भी मेरे स्टेटमेंट आगे रन होने चाहिए ओके सो लॉजिकल एंड or operator doesn't check second condition. Okay, I am again saying it doesn't check second condition if first condition is true. It checks second condition only if first one is false. Okay, are you understanding? It is simple saying कि ये second condition पे तभी move करेगा when only one first condition is true. If first condition become false, it doesn't go to the second condition. Okay, it doesn't check the second condition. Okay, and what is logic bitwise or the bitwise or operators? It always check both the conditions. Okay, ये हमेशा दोनों कंडीशन को चेक करेगा, चाहे से पहली कंडीशन ट्रू हो या चाहे से पहली कंडीशन फॉल्स हो. ओके, सो इसका एक प्रोग्राम भी है, प्रोग्राम मैंने बनाया जैसे इफ आई से a equals to 10, a is a variable and is data type of a, 10 is the value assigned to a. Okay, b equals to 5, c system.out.print ln. What I have said, a greater than b. This is true, I know. A is greater than b. A is greater than b. Okay, a is 10, b is 5. So a is greater than b. This condition becomes true. Now it will not move to the second condition. It will don't move to the second condition because the first condition has become true. It will not move to the second condition. Okay, if this first condition become false, then it goes to check the second condition, but in this case the first condition is becoming true, so it will not move to the second condition to check. It will only give me the answer that is true. Okay, what it will give, it will give me the answer true. Okay, and now what bitwise will do, if I say a greater than b, this is true, but after this it also checks the second condition, that is a less than c. Yes, these both conditions are true. So whether the first condition is false or true, the bitwise or doesn't respect of it. We can say that it doesn't depend on it whether the first condition false or true. It will always check the second condition. Okay, so true and true, the answer will give me true. If one of the and the or operators work same as whether one of the in both the, if there are two conditions, one of the condition becomes true. Okay, it just give me the true answer. Okay, and what happens in and only works when both the conditions are true. Okay, now what is the concept here? Concept is here just it is the checking of condition. Okay, bitwise or checks the another condition also whether the first condition is true or false, and on logical or doesn't check the second condition. Okay, whether the first, it doesn't check the second condition whether the first condition is false or true. If the first become false, it gives the answer false. If the first become true, it gives the answer true. That's simple. Okay, now in more deep dive if you go, I have one more example. If I say that a greater than b, okay, is this condition is false, this condition is false. Okay, but what is happen, oh sorry, a greater than b, this condition is true, sorry, a greater than b, this condition is true. It will not move to this part, it will not move to this part. So if I print the value of a, it will only give me 10. The condition a, I have written here a plus plus, look, a plus plus, but what is happening, it is not going to this condition for checking. Okay, so this is the difference. But if I do this with bitwise or, not logical or, but bitwise or, first condition is true, then also it moves to the second condition. And when it moves to the second condition for check, the value of a becomes 11. Okay, the value of a becomes 11. This is the sweet and short simple example and easily understandable example of what is difference between bitwise or and bitwise or and logical or. Okay, these bitwise or and bitwise and are used to manipulate, we can say that it is used in bit when we work perform operations on bit. And now what is bit? That is the binary form, that is 0101. So we can say that 1 byte equals to 8 bits. So when we work on these binary forms, it is then used. Okay, a logical or so bitwise or is used at that time. Okay, so the main difference was this only. Okay, or doesn't check the second condition, logical or doesn't check the second conditions, it only dependent on first condition. If first condition becomes true, it gives true. If first condition become false, it gives false. Okay, and bitwise or it always check the second condition also. Okay, so this was the short and sweet example of logical or and bitwise or. Now let's move to the next, that is logical and bitwise and. Okay, so what is happening in bitwise and? It is the same as this. We can say that what is happening and condition mein hota kya hai? If simple I use and condition, it is used at and condition check both the cases. Okay, what does and condition do? It checks both the condition, because and works on a criteria that true will true and false will be true. Okay, if both the conditions are true, then only it gives true. Okay, now when I say that both the condition of false, it is also true, means दोनों चीजें सेम है, मतलब दोनों कंडीशन अगर ट्रू है तो ये आंसर मेरे को ट्रू देगा, दोनों कंडीशन फॉल्स है तो यानी कि एक प्रकार से ये भी क्या हो गया, ट्रू कंडीशन ही हो गई, दोनों कंडीशन मैच है, सेम है। ठीक है, दोनों ही कंडीशन, इफ वन बिकम्स ट्रू एंड वन बिकम फॉल्स, द एंड ऑपरेटर गिव फॉल्स। Okay, it gives true in the case when both the conditions is either true or both the conditions are either false. So and operator always check both the conditions. Okay, this one also and this one also. But in sometimes what happens, yes, it check both the conditions. Okay, and what does bitwise and do? Bitwise and perform that both the conditions are not checked in this case. Okay, only one condition is checked. Just wait a minute. Something went wrong, I think so. Just wait a minute. Like something is going wrong. I'm facing some issue of internet. Just 2 minutes more. There's something lacking, I think so. Yes. So where I was? Yes, logical and bitwise and. Okay. So what is happening in logical and bitwise and is this, that logical and operator doesn't check second condition. Yeah, I was sorry, I was over the wrong. Yes, this logical and doesn't check the second condition if first condition is false. What I say, it doesn't check the second condition. Okay, in which case it doesn't check the second condition? If the first condition become false. If first condition become false, it doesn't check the second condition. Okay, it checks the second condition only and only, it checks the second condition only and only when the first condition is true. Okay, it is dependent on this, the checking of second condition is dependent on the first condition. If first condition become false, it will don't check the second condition. But if first condition becomes true, it will check the second condition also. Okay, now in this case, or what is happening, like a is smaller than b, this condition is false, so it will not move to the second condition. It will just, if I print the value of a, it will give me 10 without incrementing it. Why it is not incremented? Because it is not going to check the second condition. And what is happening in the bitwise and operator, the bitwise and operator always checks both the condition. Okay, what is happening, it is always checking both the conditions. It is not dependent on the first condition. It is always check both the condition, whether the first condition is true or whether the first condition is false. Okay, so you got it. I think it's a very easy concept. I'm speaking one more time, please write on the pen and paper, it would be more easy to understand. Okay, what does and do? If first condition, okay, in the AND logical AND operator, if the first condition is false, it will not go to check the second condition. Okay, if the first condition becomes true, then only it will going to check the second condition. Okay, and what is happening in the bitwise AND, if it will check both the condition, it don't depend on the first condition, whether the first condition is false or whether the first condition is true, it will check the second condition also in every case. Okay, so this was the deep drive, simple and basic simple example of, we can say, bitwise and an or operator. Okay, so let's move to our next topic. The operators parts we have finished. So the next topic of our is if else condition and switch conditions. Now what is if else condition? Okay, while programming we come across some situations like where we have to perform some work which is based on some condition. Okay, which is based on some condition. Now what is condition? If I say take an, let's take an example of vote. Okay, simple and a simple example of vote. What is happening in vote? If I say, yes, wait a minute, yes, if I say that a person can vote only, what is the criteria for voting? That the person should have the age above of 18 years. Okay, so if the person having the age of 18 years can only vote, so if I draw a program, so what will the condition I will impose? I will impose that the age of the person, what, that the age of the person should greater than, or we can say equal to, greater than or equal to 18 years. Then only, if this condition becomes true, it will run the code which it will run the code which I have been given in this press, if in the statement which is given under the if condition. If it becomes true, then this statement is being executed. Okay, if the condition become false, if the user is less than 18 years of age, then the person is not able to give the vote, and it will direct go to, it will just skip this code of if condition and it will go out of this condition. Okay, and what is written after if, it will execute that. Okay, it is simple concept of if else if conditions. Okay, so it is used where it is sometimes we get situations where we have to work on the condition, whether if the condition becomes true, then only this work should be completed. If this condition not becomes true, the work should, if I say an example of red light. Okay, what if say I say that if the light is red, then the vehicle should stop. Okay, if the light is red, the vehicle should stop, and if the light is green, the vehicle should run. So in this case, what is condition on the light? If I say light is equal to red, then this work should be done. If not, then this work should be done. Okay, so this is the basic example of if conditions. Okay, sorry, yes. So what is happening? The Java if statement is used to test the condition. As I said, it checks Boolean condition. Okay, whether the condition is true or false. If the condition becomes true, it do the things. If the condition become false, it does not do the thing which is written in this. Okay, there are various types of if statement, if else if, and nested if. What all these, I will give you a brief example. Okay, just suppose there's simple example of if else statement. Okay, now what is if else? I have just told you about the if condition. Now let's move to the else part. Okay, yes, yes. What is else part? If and else. What I say, if the condition becomes true, then perform the work of this. Just look at this diagram. Okay. What I say, if the condition becomes true, then go to this part. But what if condition dot becomes true? In this case, what was happening in this case, we were only going to out of this condition. I don't know what if the condition become false, what I have to do. But in this case, else provide me, if this condition don't become true, what should I do the next? If this condition become false, what should I do? This else part should be executed. What should be executed? This else part should be executed. Okay, this else part should be executed. Okay, and after else it again goes to the normal flow of program. Okay, if I say about else if ladder, what happens? It happens like we have given multiple conditions. Okay, multiple conditions like if I say that there may be condition that if a person, okay, we can say just multiple conditions. When we have multiple conditions to check, okay, whether I say in if an example I say that a person a person, if I say about the marital status of a person, then I give many conditions. Person is married or not married, unemployed. So these are simple different conditions I am providing. No, this is not a big example. Just if I say example of a else condition is okay. When we have to check the multiple, we have multiple options to check. Okay, we can use if else condition there. Okay, what happens in this? If I say that there is a first condition. Okay, if this condition is not true, go to the next condition, check whether this conditions become true. If this condition also not becomes true, go to the next condition. If this condition also not satisfied, go to the next condition. So this part, and if the all the conditions become doesn't false, okay, the else part, that is the default else part, is that part is executed. Okay, the else part is being executed. Okay, the if I write the code, I say that if else if else if else. Okay, if first I write if, and afterward I will write if else, then if else, then if else, then if else, and at the last when I have to, when I have written all my condition, I will write else. If all the conditions become false, the else part gets executed. Okay, so this has happened in the if else if ladder. Okay, example we can say that yes, we can say if, what a person's like fruit. Okay, if I say if a person like watermelon, give him 10 marks. Okay, if but like suppose if a person doesn't like watermelon. Okay, this the condition I have written, the person name start. Okay, I can say that whether the person name start with A. Okay, if a person name start with A, send to this roll number, give him this roll number. If the person name starts with B, give him this roll number. If the person name starts with C, give him this roll number. So what is happening? Different conditions are being checked. Which conditions becomes true? The part belonging to that condition gets executed. Okay. If all the condition become false, the else part get executed. The else part get executed in the case when all the conditions become false. Okay, and the next is we can switch. So switch statement is where we can, if I say that when I was talking about the voter example I've given in the if condition, that a person can vote only if the age becomes true. Okay, now I have to give two or more conditions that, okay, whether suppose if the first condition becomes true, the first condition is that if the person can only vote if its age is 18 years of above, equal to or 18 years or above. But what is happening, first condition is that if the person is in the nested if, there is a condition, and inside that condition there is also another condition. Okay, so performing, for example, if I say if there is a condition, okay, the condition is that if the person is of the age greater than 18 years, then only he can vote. Okay, now what is happening, this condition becomes my true. Now, second condition I have given is that if the person has voter ID also, he can only vote then only. Okay. Now, what is happening? If this condition become false, it doesn't go inside this part. Okay. It directly get out of this part. If the condition become false, it directly get to the outer part. of that. Okay, and if the first condition becomes true, that the person age is greater than 18, it goes to the second part and it checks whether the person have voter ID or not. If the person doesn't have voter ID, it goes out of this else if part. Okay, and if the person have voter ID, it perform the task and get with the direct flow of the program. Okay, so this is the simple nested if else ladder. And if else ladder is the name only, just else if and else part. Okay, so for single condition we can use if we have two condition whether to do this or this, so we can use if else. And if we have multiple conditions, we can use else if. And if where we want to use conditions and another condition in that condition, okay, if first condition becomes true, then do this work. Okay, then also there is a condition for another condition that is known as nested condition. For example, I have a program. If I say that yes, if I have written here age equals to 25 and weight equals to 48. Now I am applying if age greater than or equal to 18. This age what is 25. This condition becomes my true. Now I move to the next condition. It is the nested. Okay. Now curly braces what? It decides the block of this. Okay. The if condition of here is starting from here and it is ending here. Okay. It is ending. If age doesn't satisfy the first condition, okay, it goes out from here and it execute this code. Okay, it just skip all this part. It skip all this part. It moves to the else part. Now what is happening? If the condition is true, it will move to the next, that is if condition. It will move inside of this block. Okay, it will move inside of this block. Otherwise it will move to the last else part and it will execute this code. Okay, now what is happening in our case? This condition is becoming true. It is moving to the next part, that is if weight greater than 50. Now what is get? It is 48. This condition become false. Okay, when this condition become false, what is happening? It is going to out. It is not going inside of this block. Okay, inside of this block, it is going to outside else part and it is executing. You are not eligible to donate blood. Okay, so this is an example of nested if. Okay, now suppose we have a condition. Okay, what is happening? We have a condition where we have to write Java is better. Okay, 100 times. I have to write what I have to write. I have to write this: Java is better. Java is better. Okay, 100 times. What I have to do? I can simply I have option that I have to I can simply write this code 100 times. Okay, and by just typing and typing and typing I can write. Okay, no, but this is not a solution. Okay, if I do this type of work, it can just it can just consume more and more time. Okay, it will just take more and more time if I write this time. So what is the another thing? What I can do? I can just use the loop. What I can do, I can use the loop. Now what is loop? Loop is, we can say, it is a type of iterative command. It is a type of iteration which goes and goes on until the conditions becomes true. Until the conditions become true, it just work. Now it's simply, if I say how does it work, there's a simple example. Okay, just look at it. I'm providing also no why I'm providing theoretical knowledge also, because if we talk about the exams, okay, if we talk with the views of viewpoint of the exam, the theoretical knowledge is also required for us. Okay, so I'm also providing you notes as the class. Okay, needed by the class. Okay, uh, some yes okay, here. What in programming language, loops are used to execute a set of instruction or functions repeatedly when some conditions become true. I'm saying the thing now, when we have to repeat when we have to repeat some functions or some lines of code, okay, again and again, then looping is used. Okay, I will give you an example. Okay, just and when this code is executed when the conditions become true. Now where we provide condition, all things will be given to you. Just wait for a second. There are basically three types of loops. Okay, for for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Okay, now what are all these? I will tell you in just a minute. first we'll move to the for loop in Java. Okay, what is happening in for loop? There's first simple for, there are three types of for loop: simple for loop, for each, and labeled for loop. Okay, now what is happening in simple for loop? It is the same as C and C plus plus. Okay, guys who are new, they do not know about C and C plus plus, just skip this part, and who know, they can easily understand. We can initialize the variable, check condition, and increment and decrement value. It consider four part. Okay, just look at the code. Okay, simple example of loop. Yes, this is the for loop. Okay, how I write the for loop? Okay, what is happening? For loop, in this way I have written int is the type of the variable I have given, I equals to 1. Okay, what is this? This is the first step which I have in the for loop, that is initialization. Okay, what is that? That is initialization of the variable which I have done. Entire, I can say here write j a whatever I can write. Okay, the name of the variable, anything. Okay, I the second is condition of check. Okay, the second is condition check. Now what is condition check? It checks whether this I, okay, this whether this I is less than or equal to 10. Okay, this condition is true. I said that loop only runs when the condition is true, till the condition is true. So in my case, I equal to 1, I have given already. And if I say I less than or equal to 10, yes, this condition is true. So what is done? It goes into this part. Okay, inside of this part, and it does system dot out dot print ln. It prints I. Now what is the value of I? It will print first I equal to 1, because the value of I was 1. Yes, what is the value of I? The value of I is 1. Okay, so I value is 1. Now what is happening? It goes again to this part. Which part? I plus plus part. Okay, it again goes to I plus plus part, and after that this is non-updation. What is this? This is updation. Okay, and this curly braces is what is the opening and closing. This part is called, this is the part of this loop. When this conditions becomes true, it goes into this block and perform the work which is given in this block, perform the instructions or run the instruction which is given inside of this for loop block. Okay, so what happens? It again goes to updation part. Okay, and first time it doesn't go to update, it check this condition becomes true, it goes, it comes into this block, it prints the value of I, that is equal to 1. Okay, now what happens? It again goes to I plus plus. Okay, it checks I that I plus plus I becomes, if I told you about the prefix and postfix operator, increment and decrement operators here, these are like the same. It increases the value of I by 1. Now what becomes the value of I? It becomes 2. Okay, it again goes to this part. It checks whether this condition is true or false. Whether this condition is true or false. And after checking that this condition is I becomes 2, now I is less than or equal to 10. Yes, this condition is true. It again come inside this block, and it again execute this code, that is system.out.println, that is I. So now I value becomes 2, so I value is printed, we write 2. Okay, this again goes code upward, it update the value of I. Now if I update the value of I, the value of I becomes 3. It again check the condition becomes true, it again come inside this block and prints the value of I. Okay, so this is happening. What happens where it's print y 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9? Okay, now what is happening at the 9? When I print the 9, it what does? So it goes to the I plus plus part, updation part, that is. Okay, it sees, it do the work I plus plus, the condition becomes 10. Now I is less than or equal to 10. I is not less than, but it is equal to 10. So this is also a true condition. It will go to this block and it will execute the I part. Okay, it will execute the I part. Now when it goes, okay, it again goes to the updation part, it checks I plus plus, I value becomes 11. Now it checks whether I is less than or equal to 10. I is less than 10, no. Equal to 10, no. The condition become false, and this control from this loop get out, and this control is taken back from this loop part, and it goes to out of this block. Okay, and to and for and continue flow the other instructions which are given in the program. Okay, so this is the basic concept how loop is being run. Okay, now for each loop we have to learn about arrays, so we will perform that work in the arrays. Okay, now what is while condition? Okay, for loop is used when we know, okay, what is happening when we know that how many times that this loop is executed. I know that I have to execute this loop 10 times, so I have written here condition 10 times, so I use the for loop. But what is happening with while loop? While loop is used when I do not know when will this condition be coming the 10. Okay, I don't know how many times the loop is been executed, then while is loop. Now how to write while loop? It is simple as I will write just here while. Okay, and I will just write here condition. Okay, when will this work? I less than or equal to when I, it turns still when I equal to 10. Okay, when this condition will true, this while block is executed. This while block is executed. Okay, and when the condition become false, it goes out for this the control goes out from this loop. Okay, now what is happening in while block? The initialization part is done upward only. I write I equals to 1. Okay, int I equals to 1. What will this do? It will just check I equals to 1. While it goes to the while, it check the condition I less than or equal to 10. Oh, sorry, greater than. Just wait a minute. Yes, just, yeah, I was sorry. I less than equals to 10. This condition becomes true. It goes and print the value of I. What is the value of I? The value of I is equal to 1. It prints the I. Now what happens, guys? It again goes back. There's no updation part. It again goes back. It check that is this condition is true. It again print 1. It again goes back and this continues. So this is known as infinity loop, that this loop is not ending. Okay, what I have to do, I have to just write a part here, that is updation statement I plus equal to 2. Now what does this mean? I told you in previous classes also, this mean that this is the updation part. I equals to I plus 2. Okay, this is working as this. Okay, so what is happening? I, it checks, it can perform the work, it prints the I value of I, that is 1 in first case, and it goes down, it update the value of I, that is now the value of I becomes 3. Okay, and then it check the condition, it is true, it again print the value of I, that was 3. And again it comes, it update the value. If I do not update the value, what happens? The loop goes to infinity. Okay, it will never end, it will never end. So this goes on, this part goes. Okay, so updation is required must. Now why I use, like, my work was doing with the for also, I can do this work also, but what is happening? I do not know in this case, when sometimes we have a condition but we do not know when will this I value will become 10. Okay, I do not know, so I cannot use here for loop, because I have to use for loop, I have to give some conditions. Okay, if I say let's, if I equals to, okay, so simple in this way. Okay, a while loop is used when we do not know how many times the loop is to be executed. Okay, so this goes on. And for loop is used when we know for how much time the loop is to be executed. So the main difference between while loop and for loop is this only. For loop is used when we know the fixed, it is used for fixed number of iterations. Loop is also known as iteration. Okay, and while loop is used when we do not know the number of iterations. Okay, simple. Now we move to the next, that is do while. Okay, so just wait. Do while we will do it in the next class. Oh, so thank you guys for being with us.